more, because otherwise he's been very solid. However, now Element Mystic on their defense looks like they're going to be doing something not really too surprising here, other than the fact that coming through with the Winston, instead of being Takoyaki, it's going to be Alpha. Otherwise, the composition is exactly as we proposed.
But Alpha on the Winston, this is what's interesting to me. Usually it's Takoyaki that'll be the Winston specialist. At least they're trying it out on the defense so far. But when it comes to the offense, Fuse already missing from the fight, kind of trailing behind Gen.G. At least he'll be quick to come back, but that's already some early ult charge for Doha.
Absolutely, and he'll take those time and time again as Element Mystic going to come out a little bit ahead in that EMP race. And if you allow Doha to set the tone there in that matchup versus Stalker, Element Mystic are just too strong. They are so efficient with the EMP out as well, and we can see Doha shutting Stalker down outright.
Well, an early EMP could be big for Element Mystic, getting before A, and what an anti that was thrown from Undine. Gen.G taking a step back, but that's okay. Want to get your cooldowns back. Now getting straight to the pointer, do they chase the kills? They spot the D.Va towards the right side. Now they get split off from their healing from a bubble place from Alpha as Hanbin gets hacked. Element Mystic now. They have to chase after Gen.G, who hid themselves into a room. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for the dive lineup of the Element Mystic to go after that.
Yeah, and Gen.G gonna be going up to the high ground now, biding their time a little bit, trying to give opportunity for Stalker to catch up to Doha a little bit. But Doha is totally comfortable with just staying in stealth here, waiting for Gen.G to drop, and then going for the EMP play for Element Mystic to push in with.
Goes in, dives in with the EMP, catches most of Gen.G. Dance still able to give out the nano, I believe, to Oberon. Just swinging away, now has held this fortress on point A. Element Mystic, oh, you'll take those solo shatters, especially on a support. It's going to be Gen.G cleaning up the rest of the point, and with good time too.
And you forced a couple of ults out if you're Element Mystic, so that's okay for now, as you pretty much matched everywhere else. And we will see Gen.G with this composition. They don't have the ability to really push up to high ground all too much, so if they do go up main, Element Mystic could actually send Undine actually up to the high ground, and nobody from Gen.G will be able to do much about that outside of Stalker. But if he's focusing on Undine, then he gets out of the fight completely. So Element Mystic playing the high ground here. I think this is the smart play. Gen.G are likely going to have to force them off of this if they do want to try to capture point B.
Yeah, now Stalker has the EMP, now wants to wait for Element Mystic to drop down. Gen.G move towards the point. It is the EMP from Stalker that struck first, but Unique is there with a responsive barrier. Grab from Wuyal as Gen.G want to close this out early. They have enough kills, but they've lost Oberon, and now Wuyal frontline severely missing from the fight for Gen.G. This is not going to be the fight they want. They do get a first tick now. Do they want to continue with this?
Oh, they're going to try to hang in there, but it's going to be so difficult. They manage the first tick. I think you just leave here, but Gen.G, they don't have any ultimates, so I think that is going to be their play. Element Mystic, on the other hand, they have the EMP ready, so should Gen.G want to push back in, Element Mystic should be able to fire back.
Yeah, Doha waiting on the high ground. Gen.G will be on the right side, where Alpha will be meeting his opposition of Oberon there. No shadows to worry about. Gen.G have to go in this with no ultimates, just a clean fight. And as the fight progresses, they'll work towards it. There's Doha who drops with the EMP, and an anti from Undine nails the tank lineup of Gen.G. Instantly eliminated, and Gen.G, quick reset.
That was such a clever use of the biotic grenade there. Big clutch play from Undine. I mean, the EMP, I don't know if that would have been able to get too much value given the fact that the Transcendence was already out, but the biotic grenade just solidified everything for Element Mystic, and now they are definitely a little bit ahead in the Ultimate Economy race here, which is going to be all important with this time bank now sitting at 4 minutes. Element Mystic need to hang in there on the second point defense, and the best way to do that, well, you've got the ability to drop what is the nano boost here onto someone like Alpha, someone like Sparkle, and they're going to do that really aggressively right out of the gates.
Yeah, that nano was given to Alpha, who still holds on to the shatter, but Gen.G have lost too much. You don't even need to invest more than that. Element Mystic have been so economical so far, but Gen.G have the time in their favor. 3 minutes and 42 and less remaining.
I really like that aggressive push coming from Alpha. Now they still have that grab. They're still building into the EMP to match with Stalker later on. Gen.G struggled a little bit recently, but they're just kind of in that building phase right now, right? They're just trying to get set up, make sure that they have an explosive attack a little bit later on to be able to force this point their way.
Well, Oberon has the shatter, but he did get his hack from Doha. Now this is Element Mystic's chance. Alpha did use the shatter. It did at least kind of scare Gen.G a little bit. Now Oberon did get hit by an anti-heal, and now Stalker tries to respond with an EMP. Element Mystic sustained with the barrier. Now holding on to Doha's EMP this time. Element Mystic have already got the picks they need to force Gen.G back and even anti some of the members. This has just been a fortress of a defense from Element Mystic.
And it's so hard to break through this. They used the EMP, but they just didn't get anything done. I mean, Unique was just so ready to be able to just block that out with the sound barrier and did it exactly how you would want to if you are the Lucio player. Maybe you get Doha, but hey, it's fine. Doha lives, so it's whatever. It's a wash. It doesn't matter. Element Mystic now, they've got the EMP. They've got the Graviton as well. We've seen how they can sometimes combo these together to actually get kills despite the Transcendence. You lower the shield. Biotic Grenade comes in as well.
Yes, it was a great EMP from Doha. We all still managed to get the grab out, so Element Mystic couldn't follow up as much as they want. But Doha is having so much fun at the back, farming yet another EMP. And Gen.G, if they're not careful, they'll lose Oberon here.
Yeah, this is a literal 1v4. Finally, they turn around and try to deal with Doha, but he gets ported out. And again, they're just trying to lower the shield from Oberon so that they can get their Ana nades in there and actually get some value. They've done it time and time again, and they're going to try to continue to do that with Doha getting into the back line to get hacks off onto the Rhyme player from Gen.G.
Nice Fire Strike getting close to the shatter as now Gen.G get ready to start their train, but it's Sparkle's grab that stops Gen.G in their tracks, and Oberon is first to fall. Now looking for more blood. Alpha received the nano earlier on, and that's a scare factor Gen.G just don't want to deal with.
Should be able to get Dance here as well, and little time off the clock there. As Stalker's still building to the EMP, he'll have it for the next fight, and they'll also have 2 support ults to kind of sustain them through a little bit, whereas Element Mystic, they didn't use too much in that last fight, but now they just don't really have much of anything left in the tank, although Alpha, Doha could make some heroic plays here. We've seen that from them. We've also seen how they could disengage really well away from Stalker's EMP. They're going to have to do that here to survive.
Stalker gets to the high ground, meets his counterpart, and that's a Somber duel, and it's an important position to have for either Somber, who are one's close to EMP, the other one has it, now knows that Stalker's looking for it. As Element Mystic, they take shelter in their own spawn, but they still get hit from it. Now a counter EMP actually comes out from Doha as Gen.G were able to use their barrier in time. We all gets hit by a shatter, forces out Fuse's Transcendence, make sure his Zarya is alive and well. A nice hack goes on to Alpha, but now can Gen.G take advantage? Oberon does a free kill and also a free shatter for anyone who comes in his path, and there it is, landed on the Zarya. Now just no damage remaining from Element Mystic, who only have their Ana remaining and nothing left in the tank. As Gen.G finally finish point B, it seems, after so many attempts.
Such a clutch shatter there. A great awareness from Oberon, actually. I mean, we could have seen a Graviton come down, and at the very least, we would have seen that point stalled out for quite a bit longer, as we would have seen everybody from Element Mystic get a little healthy during the Graviton. They might not have gotten kills, but they at least would have been able to stall longer. Now, there's time left on the clock for Gen.G. That's so important, and it all came off of the back of a really, really good awareness play from Oberon with the shatter.
But you're thinking about, they got point A within pretty much I would say the second fight, if you count Fuse kind of stalling things out at the beginning. But 25 seconds for a map like Hanamura, which most of the time goes to 6 to 8 points if you're a good GOATS team or a 3-3 team. So 25 seconds, it took them several rounds of ultimates to finally get the job done. And that's that chaos of, you come in with a plan of how you want to use your ultimates, but it seems things fell apart when things got chaotic. Their plan B, C, D, and E seem to have fell apart.
And now we're going to see Element Mystic back on that 2-2-2 comp. And it's easy to think of this as, you know, a variation of some type of GOATS-based composition,
DPS?
but hey, this is 2-2-2. This is 2-2-2 all the way through, and Element Mystic are playing it very, very well so far in their first 2 maps, and we're going to see it once again. I mentioned before how Hanamura is a map where we could see this coming out yet again. I actually would have expected them to play at least on point A for this stage on defense, but hey, they've got it out on attack now. Gen.G trying to play that standard 3-3 approach with Dance on the Ana, of course, as you absolutely cannot play Zenyatta into Doha and Sparkle on these 2 picks.
Well, especially for this map dichotomy, this is going to favor Dance's position on the high ground. Seems he's either aiming more for the left side, trying to stay behind Oberon as much as he can, as we all will be on the left. Element Mystic, though, have a back cap going on, probably Doha, trying to take the attention away from Gen.G, as Element Mystic now have gotten an opportunity to move forward. They've gotten some space, but they still have to deal with Sparkle, who's now out of cooldowns, and the focus fire really isn't there. Sparkle isn't dead. Until maybe now. Not even.
Gen.G, they're still pushing through. I mean, they lost the Diva mech, but they're looking a lot healthier now than Element Mystic, so they will be backing Element Mystic out of this fight, but really, we're just looking for the potency from Element Mystic's ultimates to come through here and be the thing that turns the tides for this attacking team now, as Doha and Sparkle getting ever closer. But the main thing here is going to be the EMP differential that Gen.G, they just don't have that kind of ability to turn things around, and Fuse simply not close enough to the sound barrier to answer the EMP should it come out.
Yeah, Oberon's about to have it, rounding out the corner, but it's Doha that sets up the EMP, but he got slept! But the hack still goes through Gen.G, missing Oberon. Wuyall is out of mech. Element Mystic making their way towards the point. Sparkle spots a support, still alive. Not on my watch, he says, but he has to be careful. The Zarya has been able to peel for the supports very well. Sparkle is so aggressive, uses his ultimate to reposition towards the point.
Yeah, he's going to make sure that he gets out of there very quickly. Doesn't want to give up too much ult charge, but at least in that department, it's not too bad, because Gen.G, they've already got a lot of options here, building into the combo. Wuyall at 78% right now, as he does get back into his mech, and really Gen.G is going to have to rely on their defensive positioning here to win this next fight, as at the moment they are a little bit behind, as Element Mystic coming forward with the Graviton of their own, as well as the backup of the sound barrier.
There's the grab starting in from Gen.G. They pull the trigger first on the defense, and it pays off. Element Mystic will have to reset, and it's quite a ways away that Gen.G have to burn time of the clock. I mean, Element Mystic start with 6 minutes, and Gen.G only finished with 25 seconds. They need to make this gap a lot smaller.
But think about how smart this was actually from Element Mystic. They see the grab come down, they see the rally come down, and they're like, you know what? Let them have it. We'll just go ahead, take the hit. We know we have such a big time bank advantage that we're gonna take the hit, go up 2 ults in the economy race, and we can come back into this next fight with a huge advantage.
Oh, Oberon tried to come in from the right side, go for a sneaky pin, but now Element Mystic have used barrier and Hanbin's grab. Element Mystic now, can they convert this into kills? The answer is yes. They'll make their way towards the point. They'll start the snowball. If they get this D-Mech on the Wuyall, it seems like they did, and that's a great stagger. And Undine will be in the back, ready for the Nano to give this probably to Sparkle.
Oh, we will be seeing them just rip through everybody. EMP comes out as well, and that's it.
Wow.
That's it right there. And honestly, everything came down to the fact that we saw Element Mystic very cleverly just let that last fight go. All they did was just hold on to everything, make sure that they had a great advantage going into the fight that wound up being the last one there. And look at that differential, 5:22 to 1 minute.
This is, if you're a Gen.G fan, you're probably sweating buckets right now, because that's a severe time disadvantage that they have. But we've seen them pull out some crazy stuff. Like maybe this Bunker Baptiste stuff might just come out on Hanamura. You need to do something drastic, because their point A defense kind of suffered as much as Element Mystics. And then their point B defense, well, you saw how quick that was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Element Mystic really firing off on all cylinders right now, making sure that they're showing off the fact that even on maps where Gen.G might have some kind of advantage, Element Mystic just showing that they are that much stronger than what we expected. And we already expected them to be fairly strong in this matchup. So to be putting on a showing like this, I think, honestly, a lot of teams were probably expected to be shaking their boots looking at Runaway. Hey, maybe Runaway needs to be looking at this and be shaking in their boots about Element Mystic.
Either way, you're shaking over this time bank, but we'll see what kind of defense they'll put on later on. But first, Smaller Time Bank attacks first, and Fuse is sticking onto the Roadhog, so Quad Tank, maybe not. Looks like he is switching back to the Lucio. I mean, a Brigand Zen is not really a ton of healing. You'd love a Moira in there, at least an Ana. Looks like they go back to the 3-3.
Yeah, they were looking for the pick against Doha there, but not going to get it. Now they swap back over to their traditional composition as they dive in now.
It's a great bubble from Alpha, kind of split off the healers from the tanks of Gen.G. They got hit by an anti from Undine, so they're taking their time getting their cooldowns back. Now going towards the right side is the best approach to limit the area that Alpha can dive into.
And we're seeing actually Element Mystic just holding Gen.G inside, trying to actually isolate off anybody that they can, and they do that by taking down Fuse. That's going to buy time for Element Mystic to get healthy once again. Unique's in a little bit of a tough situation here, does slip out though, and now a massive advantage at EM.
But the second time Fuse has been caught out away from the rest of the team. Gen.G now have to go into this without a speed disengage, without obviously some less area of healing. Doha drops in with the EMP. Oberon instantly eliminated. The focus fire so strong for Element Mystic. Gen.G, what a sick boot from Fuse. Unique is also going to match that. It is back and forth, not over yet. Gen.G trying to stall this one out as much as they can.
Fuse is still in this. The sound barrier invested by Unique, and Element Mystic just hang in there, but they need the kills now.
Can't get me if I'm Spider-Man. He's up on the ceiling, he's back down, in and out of the point, but steps out for too long. And Oberon was right around the corner. That, just, you know, when you have 1 minute, there's just no room for mistakes.
Not at all, and we could be just moments away here. Element Mystic are fully aware of the fact that with this massive time they have 5 minutes and 22 seconds, all they need to do is just build, look for that perfect opportunity where Gen.G maybe overextends, maybe overutilizes, overallocates ultimates in a previous fight, and then just dive in with it. They can just wait, and then just punch with all of the might of 6 ultimates if they want to.
5 minutes and 22. Oof. Gen.G. Now, they don't want to go with this bunker comp. You know, there's some teams that can pull off miracles with that. They stick to what they know best. And that's going to be Winston and this 3-3.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you see that it's 5 minutes. I mean, maybe if it was like 2-3 minutes, you might be able to pull something like that out, but they've already seen that Element Mystic can go dive. They can just bring Sparkle out on the Gen.G, keep everything else virtually the same, maybe even actually introduce Alpha back onto the Winston, and they'll be able to answer that type of composition. 5 minutes is just too long to do something gimmicky like that. So Gen.G, I think, are making this smart play, just going for something that they think maybe if they just play flawlessly, they can make a hold here, get the tie, and move into the next map.
The 2-2-2 out the gates, 33% and 5 minutes and 13 to cash themselves into the grand finals and a spot in Showdown. Element Mystic, they only give small windows of opportunities to take advantage of their mistakes. Nice bubble from Oberon does get shattered right away as Element Mystic now, they want to take towards the right side to avoid the dives from Gen.G, but Dan's sleeping on the job.
Oh, they're actually going to take him down. Sparkle, I mean, everybody pulled back to help dance out, but Sparkle still got the kill, and now huge advantage to the attacking side.
It's a 1-to-1 trade, but the defense are missing their main tank. Element Mystic try to set up camp on the point. They only need 33%. Gen.G cannot let go of this point, and now people are getting booped. Why are they playing so near the edge like that? We've seen the Lucios take advantage of this time and time again, as Doha will be close to putting the nail in the coffin with an EMP as Gen.G. They swap to their desperation picks as a Hammond, a Tracer, everything they need to hold on to this as Doha unleashes the EMP, and Element Mystic feeling in their element, going into the grand finals once again with a 3-0 victory over Gen.G.
And not only that, but they also solidify a spot into Showdown as well. And I know Element Mystic is going to be looking at this next matchup, Runaway versus O2 Blast, and they want Runaway more than anything else. I mean, they want to be able to solidify the fact that they are the team in Korea right now. They have bounced back in such a big way from their start in the group stage and looking probably better than I think they realistically ever have.
Handshakes going on and kind of waiting for Dance to get off his computer, but we all thought maybe this was going to be a closer match. I personally thought second versus third place, close in the standings. Element Mystic, the only team to beat Runaway, of course, had a big, lots of weight on their shoulders, right? But Gen.G in second place had such a drastic improvement from their performance from last season, making themselves go to the semifinals now, but I expected a stronger showing.
Yeah, absolutely, and you would not be alone at all in thinking that. Even I was thinking this was going to be a lot closer, but again, a huge surprise from Element Mystic, showing off something a little bit new, a newer strategy from them specifically, going back to that Doomfist that just allowed them to be so dominant in the past, and just bringing it out once again here in the playoffs. And now I think anybody facing them in the finals has to be fearful of that.
Oh, Element Mystic boys, so excited. The fans with their signs. Big fan of Undine there with the Ana. Man. And it's so great to see that although the regular season was online, we get this offline playoffs. The fans still get to cheer on and see what the teams are like. But we got another semifinal on the way. And speaking of the way, it is Runaway versus O2 Blast coming up.
Yeah, and this is such a big matchup, and I know everybody's been talking about it too, because we just saw Kaiser coming through in the playoffs and making a bold statement. He's back, and he's back and better than ever, looking like right now on the Reinhardt, and he's going to be playing against his old team in Runaway. So this is a really, really cool arc for him to be able to show off against his old team, a team that has been so dominant over the course of the season.
Will Runaway repeat last season's grand finals and meet Element Mystic there, or will O2 Blast surprise us all? We're going to throw it to a quick break, and when we get back, it will be the second semifinal.